Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaye Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Namah Pranavarthaye Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaye Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Kataksha Kirana Chanta
कटाक्षकिरणाचान्त
Naman Mohabdhaye Namaha
नमन् मोहाब्धये नमः
Anantananda Krishnaya
अनन्तानन्दकृष्णाय
अनन्तानन्दकृष्णाय
Jagan Mangala Murtaye.
जगन्मङ्गलमूर्तये।
Before we start, there was one question somebody had sent. We will look at that and then we will start. Yes. No, where did it go? You mentioned Atma is the source of Ananda, and if certain conditions are met, it manifests in the mind. Even if that is the case, wouldn't it make sense to chase sense gratification? As I only feel happy when Ananda manifests. It is like I only get to buy something when I withdraw some money from the bank, no matter how much money I have in the savings. And the Ananda reflection used in the context looks like happiness we get from external objects. But Ananda Swarupa of Atma is from limitlessness. Can you please explain? The example given of withdrawing from the bank doesn't fit this at all. We are talking about the very source from which both Ananda and Anananda arise. Without that source of Ananda, there is neither Ananda that we know of in the Jagat, which is based on external objects, nor the Ananda, Anananda. Both these, as we have repeatedly said, form a scale, and anything that forms a scale is part of the Mithya Jagat. But what does the scale depend on? What does anything on the scale and the continuum depend on? Depends on something else. That why you have to understand that something else on which it depends is Ananda Swarupa. I can say it is the same when I say Satyam and Anritam. I have Satyam and Anritam in a scale in the Jagat. But they also depend on something else for their existence. That Satyam is not this Satyam. That's Ananda is not this Ananda. Jnanam and Ajnanam. We have in this Jagat Jnanam and Ajnanam a range of things which all sort of in between things. What do they depend on? Jnanam. Jnana Swarupam. Yapti. Jnana Dhatu Artha. That is why you have to understand that All this is Vachyartha. And what we are trying to understand is the Lakshyartha. What is it that forms the adhishthanam for all of these? And I've mentioned three things. Ananda Swarupa, Jnana Swarupa as Jnapti, as well as Satya Swarupa. Once you understand this as being the same, Satya Swarupa is same as Ananda Swarupa, is the same as Ananta Swarupa, is the same as Jnana Swarupa. A single entity, which is the very basis, and not a very good word, but Adhishthanam is a better word, for the entire range of everything in the Jagat. Now, another example, maybe a little better example to exemplify what we're talking about. Remember our famous example of a small child being offered an ice cream on his birthday, 3-year-old child, let us say, on the one hand, and being offered a completely loaded credit card on the other hand. That what will the child choose? Child's natural inclination is to choose that ice cream because that is instantly available. He can see that that's something I like. We do the same thing. We look for this ananda, which is apekshika ananda, which is vyavaharika ananda, not knowing, just like the bala, the child, not knowing that the other option that is available to me includes all of this and more. And therefore, I behave like a child. When I chase after the apekshika ananda, then I can keep on doing it forever. Today, I chase after something. Tomorrow, I gain whatever I am chasing after. I think I have gained a little bit of sukha. But that sukha, I know, will not last. That sukha has a beginning, it comes one time, and another time T2, it is not there anymore. I also know that in order to gain that little bit of sukha, the amount of effort I had to put in, the amount of disappointments I had to face, the amount of perhaps ridicule I had to face from other people when I failed. And then when I did succeed, there was this lesha of sukha, a little bit of sukha. But look at the amount of problems that I had to go through. No, Swamiji. Once you get 100 crores, 200 crores is easy. You think so? Please ask the people who have to gain the 200 crores. And then not only that, that person who has gained the 100 crores, ask him why he wants the 100 crores. He has no idea. All our technology innovations, all our equipment and instruments that we create, including the one that we have in the kitchen, supposed to give us more time, more leisure, give us a more comfortable life. All that is fine, but really we are hoping that it will give me a modicum of happiness. Does it? Please examine. And then you have this, during the pendency of this achievement that one has had, which seemed to give a little leisure of sukha. You know, one tries very hard to buy some fantastic thing, buy a very fancy car, My normal example is a 7 Series BMW or an 8 Series Audi, or everything fully loaded. Yes, there is sukha. The day you drive it out of the showroom, there is a certain modicum of sukha. One thing can happen. If you drive out of the showroom and you are very pious, you want to take it to the temple, and on the way, one cyclist, because you're in heavy traffic, scratches your car. What happened to the sukha? Even if you assume nothing happened, you drive very carefully, you take it to the temple, you bring it back home. First day, you feel certain amount of sukha. The neighbors look at you and say, wow, happy new car, new car. Second day, you're probably not just as much in terms of happiness, but you got used to that happiness. Day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, gradually the sukha you thought it is giving you has begun to go down. And then whatever it is that you bought, your neighbor gets a next level car. Finished. What sukha you had was already gone. So during the pendency of that also there is problem. Then there is always the worry that I take it out and a little scratch takes place. I don't know if you ever drive a luxury car and you have a scratch and take it to the authorized dealer. He will look at it and say, no problem, sir, it's a simple thing. What will it cost? Only some 30,000 rupees, sir. Scratch. Everything is like that. Then all the time you're worried somebody will scratch the car. Initial days, you put the cover on top when you parked it, that some child playing in the street should not come and scratch the car. Gradually, that also goes. You don't do it regularly. It goes. And then even this sukha, after some time, goes down completely. This, any form of laukika sukha is like that. All these apeksha sukha, okay, Shastra never tells you don't try for this. The only condition, only proviso it tells you is stay within the bounds of dharma. Even if the Shastra doesn't tell you that, if you transgress dharma and achieve whatever it is that you wanted to achieve, there is a natural conflict within. However much one might try to hide that conflict, there is a natural conflict. You can't avoid it. You know what you've done is not right. Then you try to cover it up. You become angry. You become arrogant. You become aggressive. No, I can do this. I can do it again. Nobody can stop me. These are all implications of the external sukha. So what Shastra is telling us is, if you get that sukha, enjoy it. But remember, one, this is not the end. As long as you're aware of that, as long as you're all the time aware that there is something much, much bigger that you can aim for, enjoy it when you get it. Then what happens? This does not bite you any longer. So the answer to that question, if you want to enjoy certain external based sukha, enjoy it. Stay within the bounds of dharma, but don't get sucked in by it. Krishna. Because the moment you get sucked in, you're going to lose sight of whatever it is you can get. Therefore, Shastras, no guru who studied Shastra, who is a Shrotriya Brahmanishta, will never ever tell you, do not enjoy what you get. If you don't get, don't let it bug you. That's all. Enjoy every sukha. Don't lose focus on what you can get, which is infinitely more. We will look at many of these things now in this verses as well. All of these will be covered. Yes, Divyansh.
Swamiji, I have one question.
Sure.
You said that better example would be for the ice cream and credit card. But what I think is that when we are comparing these things, like these belong to the same category, right? With a credit card, I can buy, let's say, 1,000 ice creams, or even better, thing better than that, right? But when we were seeing the why we should like study this, the comparison was made with the ananda that we get to something like that you will get happiness all the time.
Right.
Because it was said that the lokika happiness is coming and going, and it's not everlasting, right? And so comparison, and the other thing that you are saying, that the ananta swarupa of atma, that is of the scale of ananda and anananda. But here, like, we compared ananda with that ananta swarupa, so I think that's not a fair
No, you're right. You're right. It is a different order of reality. It is Swarupa. Therefore, it's not the same order of reality. But whenever you give an example, we have to take it from within the Laukika world only. And therefore, an example like an ice cream with something which can perhaps buy 1,000,000 ice creams is huge scale difference. Whereas here the comparison is, I am running after small things, whereas what Shastra is telling me is, hey, where are you going? You are Purna. You are infinite. If you understand that, why are you going to go after these? That's all. In the process of doing this, if you get some sukha in between, Shastra does not say don't enjoy it. Shastra is very open to the fact that we have to live in this jagat as long as we have not understood the truth about the self. As long as we have deha abhimana, we have to be in this jagat and therefore deal with the jagat. Our error comes from an assumption we have made. That assumption, once we clear, then these become, in the process, I'm going to get small sukhas, small dukhas. I'll get all of them. Let that come and let that go. They will come, they will go. Okay. Ratnanji, you started reading the last class. Will you continue?
I have one more question.
Now, yes, who is that? Divyansh, yes, go on.
So, like, instead of saying that this knowledge will give us like complete ananda or something like that,
I'm going to ask you a simple question. Give whom complete ananda?
Yes, that's I'm coming to.
If you understand that, then all this is answered automatically.
True.
Till you understand, you only know that there is a possibility of Purnatvam.
Yes.
Till you understand, there is therefore a Dvaita feeling, I and Ishvara are separate. Therefore, I pray to Ishvara. I continue to do Shravanam Mananam, I continue to pray to Ishvara as one who is Sarvajna, Sarvashaktiman. But eventually, the objective is to understand.
Yes. So, wouldn't it be like better? Because to a new person, if you say that, like, if when you start saying that you get transitory ananda, and it is not lasting, and the Shastra is promising the lasting happiness, even though like it's not the happiness of the body
They are
mind.
not comparable. They are not comparable at all.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
why I said the word Ananda itself we have to understand first. Ananda, you talk about in a Vyavaharika sense, is very different from the Ananda that we are trying to study in the Shastra.
I think the
They are
first
not-
shloka
they are
tells
not-
about Ananta Ananda, so I think it will be addressed in the first verse itself.
It will come. Tejal, you had something. You have to unmute.
Yes,
Tejal, yeah.
Swamiji, I have one question. This is something we are studying from on, and we have all the information gathered with us, but we just can't put it in practical, Anubhav is missing here. So, what to do for that? Actually, Samadhi is everyone saying, but I just can't sit for 5 minutes and close my eyes. बहुत ज्यादा रजस गुण is there, and
The
I have to do this. I
simple
have to
answer
do
to
this.
that is
Yes.
continue to do Shravanam and Mananam till you understand. You don't have to go into any experiences. There's no need.
But Shravana is only happening, not Manana. What to do for Manana?
Study Advaita Makaranda.
Okay.
Yeah.
One.
Yes, Ratnamji, can we continue?
I think Divyanshi still has his hand raised.
Yeah, we are still on the first one.
Yeah. Kataksha Kirana Chanta Naman Mohabdhaye Namaha Anantananda Krishnaya Jagan Mangala Murtaye. Kataksha Kirana Chanta Naman Mohabdhaye Namaha Anantananda Krishnaya Jagan Mangala Murtaye. Namaha, my namaskara. Unto whom? There are three compounds. Ananta Ananda Krishnaya, Jagan Mangalamurtaye, Kataksha Kirana Chanta, Naman Mohabdaye. In Sanskrit,
How do you identify these three? The word is Namaha. How do you identify the three? Give me a minute. I'll call you back. I'm in a class. Swamiji says, Namaha, my namaskaram, unto whom? How do you identify the three that Swamiji is pointing out?
by identifying the adjectives,
What does the word Namaha, what is the vibhakti that it should have? The moment you say Namaha, Chaturthi. So which of the Chaturthi here you can check that?
Krishnaya.
Naman Mohabdaye Krishnaya Murtaye.
Murtaye. So Murtaye is one, but it's a part of a larger compound. Krishnaya is another, which is also part of a larger compound. And Mohabdaye is a third one, which is also part of the larger compound. We will see all three. I'm sure some of you will cover them. But that's how we identify. Even as you're reading, when you say, see Namaha there, you should see where is that Namaha, where does it apply? Yeah.
in Sanskrit, every compound that is created is the author's own compound. So one has to see what exactly the author wants to say in every compound. Ananta Ananda Krishnaya Namaha. Therefore, Lord Krishna is his Ishta Devata and gets a namaskara. Lord Krishna has got a descriptive name here. Kataksha Kirana Chanta Naman Mohabdihi. How does he get this name? Abdihi is ocean. Mohabdihi is Mohaha Eva Abdihi. Mohabdihi. Moha Samudra. the ocean born of ignorance. This ocean of delusion is otherwise called samsara sagara, the ocean of samsara, the life of becoming. And this mohabdihi is kataksha kiranaihi achantaha.
Achant.
Kataksha, kata, the corner of the eye. The kataksha is a glance, drishti. This is what they call tiriyak patita drishti. A drishti that comes as a side glance, not a direct drishti. Direct drishti is not necessary here. If we have to cross a real ocean, you require a direct drishti. If we have to cross only mohabdi, you require only a glance. That is enough. Kataksha kiranaihi. This kataksha drishti, what they call kripa drishti, by its rays, tasyaha kiranaihi. Something is accomplished.
Swamiji,
Yes,
Swamiji,
Anand?
Swamiji, what does that line? If you have to cross a real ocean, you require a direct drishti. What does that mean?
See, what will dry up? In fact, nothing will dry up an ocean. Correct? Although a large lake might get dried up. But what will it get dried up by? Direct sunlight, direct sun rays. Correct? Our ocean will not get dried up. Here, what he's saying is mohabdihi. Mohabdi is ocean come out of our own mistakes, delusion. Therefore, all you could do is remove the delusion, the ocean has disappeared. You remember that little example, not example, really, some kind of a metaphor that we've been discussing. There's a fellow floundering in the water, all around him he sees only water, water, water everywhere. And all he can see is other heads bobbing around here. They're also struggling, trying to keep afloat. Every now and then some little nice thing comes floating his way and he's surviving. Sometimes he gets a tree frond, a piece of wood. He hangs on, feels a little relief. But he's continuing to do that. And then he comes across a wise man. He says, why are you moving your hands and legs like a crazy fellow? He said, I got to stay afloat. I'm in deep waters. And that fellow seems to be very calm. He says, what waters? You know, I'm not in waters. Hey, go away. I'm having enough trouble of my own without you coming in and telling me silly things. Till one day he understands. Then there's no water. That is what happened. Mohabdi it's not really like an ocean water. It is really an error, which is then leading to all these issues and problems. Therefore, what Swamiji is saying here is, where is that? You know, if you have to cross the real ocean, you require direct drishti. Essentially saying that you can't dry up an ocean. But in the real ocean, you have to find Ishvara's grace in full form to be able to even cross the ocean. Find a boat or whatever. Find a guru. Find access to the Shastra. For all of which you need Ishvara's grace, Krishna's grace. But here, you don't need a boat, you don't need anything because you're not in water. The water you're in is mohabdi. So all you got to do is realize, oh, this is not, I'm unnecessarily playing my hands and legs for nothing. Swamiji says here, if you have to cross the real ocean, you require direct drishti. If you have to cross only a mohabdi, all you require is Ishvara's grace in the form of a side glance. See, you can't take this literally. These are all not meant to be taken literally. All Vedanta is only through Vachyartha, not Vachyartha, through Lakshyartha. That's why even this business of understanding Satyam Jnanam Anantam or Satchit Ananda, Our head immediately goes to the meaning that we understand, which is the Laukika, Vachyartha meaning. But the more you study, the more you concentrate on what Shastra is saying, more easily will be to understand it's not the same. So when he says Ishvara's side glance will dry up this ocean, not literal meaning. Yeah. Can we continue?
Swamiji, I have one.
Yes, who is that? The Dimash.
Brilliant.
So, Swamiji, like since I think this is just a poetry, and I think that the poet would not have wrote
Poetic
explanation.
license.
No, I'm not that. Like he would not have given a kind of bhashya on his poetry, like what is the intending meaning of each word. So, like, did Swamiji by themselves interpreted this, like how this word should have been interpreted?
No,
And
when you study anything like this, there is something called Purva Para. You don't know what is coming after this. What Swamiji has done, he's studied the whole thing more than once. And he knows what's coming in. So when you take an interpretation, even when Shankara writes a bhashyam, it is not pure translation of what is that particular verses. It has relation to what went before and what will come later. So it's based on that and the understanding of what the Mahavakya is, because all this is only expansion of Mahavakya. Yeah.
Dr. Swamiji, as he mentioned in the introduction, that I taught this Advaita Makaranda as a text at the end of every course. So by the time all the entire habit of the
As I
Advaita
mentioned in our
had
first class itself, we will try and make sure that everybody has takeaway. But you will find that people who've had a lot of Shravanam before this would find it easier to grasp. I was discussing with my colleague, my Guru Ben is here today, and she was saying this is a tough text. It is. But therefore, the only thing that I request people who have not had the benefit of a lot of other Shravanam is to be patient. And fortunately, the format we're using allows you to stop and ask questions at any point. It will benefit everybody. So we can do that.
Swamiji?
Yes, sir.
There's also a bhashyam for this text, right? Swamiji, I don't know it was written by whom, but I heard that there is a bhashyam for this also. Is it true, Swamiji? Or no?
Could be. I have not studied the bhashyam, so I will not
Okay,
comment on that. But
okay.
I would maybe have a look at it sometime.
Yes,
this is also bhashyam, no?
This is not Bhashyam. This is
no, the
Swamiji's.
original Sanskrit one.
Yeah, he's talking about original Sanskrit Bhashyam. Okay.
Okay, Sanskrit mein.
This again is a transcription.
Not
Some
only that,
Swamiji's
there are
classes
many
have been
people that
transcribed by.
bhashyam, they are not always easy to understand. We've all got used to Shankara Bhashyam. The other day, somebody asked me to do a translation for Bhashyam written for Lalita Trishati. I was finding it very difficult because it's not the style of Bhashyam we are used to. So it depends on who's written the Bhashyam, and maybe I will study it, and if I can find that it is useful, we will also study that. Yes, sir.
The sun rays fall upon the surface of water and they cause the water to evaporate, to dry up. Similarly, here the rays of Kataksha dry up the Mohabdihi. Samudra generally does not dry up, but here Moha Samudra dries up. Kataksha Kiranaihi Achantaha.
Achanta.
Achantaha Shoshitaha. This Mohabdihi is dried up completely. Here, Achantaha means Shoshitaha, dried up.
Dried up. Where else have you seen Shoshitaha? In Bhagavad Gita? Anybody remember?
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि
Ah.
नैनं दहति पावकः चैन क्लेन्दन् तापो न शोषयति मारुतः.
See, this is what I'm saying. You're able to connect in your own mind. And when Swamiji does something, it's connected not only these, connected a lot of things together. Yes, sir.
All right. Dried up for whom? That is important.
Before we go to that, the literal meaning of the word achanti is to sip, to drink, etc. Here, because this is mohabdihi, it basically means suck up all the water, dry up all the water. Yeah.
That is important. Namaskritranam. Naman mohabdaye namaha.
For whom? He's now explaining. Namaha, there's a word there, no?
Yeah.
Naman mohabdaye namaha. There's two nama there. One namaha at the end of the first line and naman mohabdaye namaha. What is this naman he's explaining?
Namatam. Namaskritranam. For those who have done namaskara, surrender to him. Yasya kataksha kiranaihi namaskatranam mohabdihi achantaha. Just by whose glance the ocean of samsara dries up, for those who have sought refuge in him, tasmai namaha. Unto that Lord Krishna, my namaskara. To what kind of Lord Krishna? Ananta Ananda Krishnaya. Jagan Mangala Murtaye. Anantaha means Desha Kaladi Aparichinnaha. Paricheda Shunyaha. The one who is completely free from the limitations caused by place, time, and the peculiarity of objects. Anantascha asau anandascha. He is Ananda because he is Ananta and he is called Ananta Ananda. It is not Ananta and Ananda also, a little bit of both. Anantaha eva Anandaha. Tasmai namaha Anantananda Krishnaya.
I want
Ananda
to talk
Krishna.
about this one phrase. Anantaha eva anandaha. Who would like to talk a little bit about this? What is the understanding you have?
The feeling of completeness gives you the Ananda. I mean, when you are complete, where is the question of any limitedness or
The literal meaning of
requirement?
the word? What is the literal meaning? Ananta eva ananda. Ananta is Ananda. Ananda is Ananta.
No
Why?
boundaries, no limitations.
Limitless.
Sorry?
Limitless Ananda. Limitless
Yeah,
without any boundaries, without any
that is
kind of.
Ananta. And the Ananda that we're talking about is not the Ananda that we know of, that we've been discussing at the beginning of the class, which is limited by object, by time, by place, by everything. The Ananda, that is why the definitions are very different. This Ananda is Ananta, is the same as Ananta. Therefore, he says, Anantaha eva Anandaha.
That is unlimited happiness, no, Swamiji?
Yeah. Again, be very careful with this word. You're right. It is unlimited happiness. But you're not comparing with, there's a limited happiness and unlimited happiness. The very adhara for happiness or unhappiness is this.
Yes. I myself is the Satchidananda Rupam. So I will not go behind that normal happiness. So
Correct. It is not, they are not the same meaning at all. Therefore,
yes.
I don't want to compare saying that this is X amount of Ananda, this is 1000x Ananda. That's not the comparison. You understand?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Swami,
Anantaha eva.
Yes, Venkateswaran.
I am asking Swamiji.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, somebody, Divyansh, yes, sir.
Divyansh.
Swamiji, like this Ananta eva Ananda. So as the ma'am also said that the word happiness they used. So I think this was the reason because I asked the first question. Ki instead of saying Ananda, because in a normal person they think what is Ananda, right? But instead we should maybe use negative terms like अल्प में दुख नहीं, अल्प में दुख है, or for the first thing that this shastra gives us end of suffering. I think that would be a better thing to
No.
say to a normal
See,
person.
the moment you use words like an adjective like ultimate. You're saying here is a scale, Anananda, neutral, Ananda, and then ultimate Ananda in the same scale. That is not what you're talking about.
Yes, I get that.
That's not what we're talking about. This Ananda, I don't want any kind of comparison in your mind between this Ananda and the Swarupa Ananda and Ananda that is Vyavaharika Ananda. There's no comparison at all. Only the words are the same. That's the only problem. We use the same words.
So I think Divyansh is like the first part of the question is like instead of saying Ananta is Ananda, why can't we say like limitation is the cause of sorrow? Like those words does not create confusion like these Ananda word does, right? So Swamiji, because the happiness
What
or
word makes it comfortable for you to understand. But fact is, this Ananda used in the Laukika sense and Ananda that is used as Swarupa Ananda, they are not the same thing at all.
yes, Swamiji.
Yes, I understand.
So
that. But
anything that you want to extend the scale and say this is the extreme, you want to use a word which is more comfortable for you, go ahead and use the word. But Shastra has been using this word Ananda because we all know Ananda in one way. And that is the only way we know Ananda. Now we are trying to understand Ananda as a Swarupa Ananda. But if you find it more comfortable in your mind to use a different word, that's fine.
Swamiji,
As long
but
as you understand what you're doing, what you're saying.
yes, Swamiji. Swamiji, one more question. But also when we say Ananda, though it is the actual Lakshyartha of that Ananda is Ananta, but when we speak from the experiential point of view or the Laukika point, the experience of happiness, like when I get an object that I want, I feel happy. That happiness is also the same Ananda, but in a limited sense. But
No, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. You're saying here's an unlimited Ananda from which you take a little bit of Ananda here. Because this Ananda that you're talking about, Swarupa Ananda, is same thing as Satyam. Is the same thing as Jnanam. How are you going to understand that if you use the same scale?
Swamiji, but we also take examples like, okay, when I look at a sunrise, the seeker sought difference is resolved. Therefore, I get this small sense of happiness. So
that example I give only to say that when you see something like that and you experience Ananda of a very high level, then you lose the sense of subject-object.
that happens with all sort of happiness that I get in the
No.
Jagat, right? Swamiji? Like any object,
Different
I'm
levels
looking
of
for some
happiness are
object.
there. You might you find a 10 rupee note on the street should give you some happiness perhaps.
Yes.
But that's not, there is no comparison at all. But all those examples are only meant to say that this Ananda is where there is, when you talk about Ananda here, you talk about I feel happy. There's a I and there's a happy, and there's a feel in between. Subject object. That has no place in the understanding of Ananda when you talk about Swarupa Ananda.
Swamiji, if
It
we are
is a
getting a
little
small,
thing to grasp carefully. Continue to contemplate on that. We will do. There will be more of this will be coming in the further life. Yes, Dhanalakshmi ji.
Swamiji, if we are getting a small Ananda means, but we should be conscious that we are itself that the Ananta Rupam. So it is just like we should be taking in a balanced state and we should not be go excited in behind that. Right, Swamiji?
You can look at it that way. Yeah, can you continue?
Yeah. Anantah eva anandah tasmai namaha anantananda krishnaya. Ananda Krishnaya. Lord Krishna is always presented as Ananda Swarupa. Rama is presented as Dharma and Krishna is presented as Ananda. Flute, dance, etc. are expressions of Ananda. Here, Ananda is the Swarupa of Lord Krishna, who is his Ishta Devata and who is Jagan Mangala Murti. Tasmai Namaha. Jagatam Mangalakari Murtihi Yasya. The one whose Murti, the very form itself, is a blessing for the entire Jagat. Onto that Murti, onto that form, which is a blessing for the world of devotees, for the world of seekers, one who is in the form of Mangala, auspiciousness, onto that Krishna, Jagan Mangala Murtaye Namaha. This first verse is called Mangalacharanam. Mangalacharanam is for the successful completion of the book and also for reaching the hands of the people. Otherwise, why should I see it? And because of my seeing, it has reached so many people. Otherwise, nobody knew this book. This is because of the beautiful prayer by the author. That means his prayer works, it has been working.
Okay, stop here. And would you like to summarize in your own words what you've read so far?
Here we have been talking about the Ishta Devata Aradhana for the beginners, for the beginning stages. You take the Murti of Krishna and seek blessings from him, who is Ananda Swarupa himself. And from that Ananda, I would like my moha to be dried up. So you are basically seeking your prayers onto that Lord Krishna.
Yeah, in three different forms he addresses Lord Krishna in three different ways. But one as Anantananda Krishna, another as Jagan Mangala Murti, and a third as Kataksha Kiranachanta Naman Mohabdhaye Namaha. So each of these one has to understand correctly. Naman Mohabdhaye Namaha. Who is this? This is a compound. You know that Bahuvrihi, many of you will know. Within that, there are other compounds. Kataksha Kirana Achanta Naman Mohabdhaye Namaha. To that Lord Krishna, whose one glance can remove the ocean of samsara. To that Lord Krishna. For whom does it remove the ocean of samsara? It's also written there.
Who sought refuge?
Sorry?
Who sought refuge in?
The Naman comes from the Namad. Namaha becomes Namad. Again, for those who are interested in Sanskrit, because it is the Shatru form. Who are praying to or surrendering to Lord Krishna. To them, the ocean of samsara is dried up. And Ananta, Ananda Krishna, Ananta, Ananda Krishna, both are the same. Anantaya, Ananda Krishnaya. That Krishna who is Ananta and Ananda, same thing. To him, my Namaha. So the Namaha applies there also. Then Jagan Mangala Murtaye. What is Mangala? Something which is good, auspicious.
Auspicious.
The highest form of Mangala is what? Moksha. But there are also other forms of Mangala. Things which we like, which we enjoy, which are good for us. So when he says Jagan Mangala Murtaye, all kinds of Mangala, including moksha, can be given by this Lord Krishna. Because remember, in the previous compound, he said he removes the ocean of samsara. And ocean of samsara removal means what?
Moha.
moksha.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So this Mangala, all forms of Mangala it should include. Jagan Mangala Murti. It is any Mangala in the Jagat as well as any Mangala that you can think of the highest form as moksha. Takes care of all of them. Any observations, anybody up to this, in this? There's a lot of beautiful Sanskrit in this verse. In fact, one of Swamiji's favorite verses. He likes to talk about this kind of way, the way you structure the compound. Yes, Krishnamurti.
This Naman is still not clear.
Naman is the present participle of Namaha, become Namad Shabda.
Okay.
One who is, and for that, Prathama Ekavacham will be Naman. But here it is actually Shashti Bahuvachanam, but because it's a compound, the Vibhakti is lost. So it remains as Naman Mohabdaye only, Namad Mohabdaye.
But if you see the other structures, everything is Krishnaya Namaha, Murte, Dagan Murte Namaha, etc. But then this Naman becomes a freestanding word.
No. It is Naman Mohabdaye is one compound. It is not a single word. It comes from Namad, which is Shatru form of Namaha. And then it declines.
Then how will the Advaya go for this word Naman Mohabde?
It will be Swami Ganeshaswarupananda. Namaskritanam.
Namaskartrunam.
Ones who are doing, who surrendering, who are doing Namaha to Lord Krishna. Namatam, Namataram, Namatam.
Oh, okay.
Kritanam.
Tam Namaskritanam.
Anybody else, any observations, comments?
I have one question, Swamiji.
Yes.
Swamiji, like this, Rama is presented as Dharma. That I understand that throughout the life, like he followed Maryada. But Krishna is presented as Ananda. But Krishna also like wielded the Sudarshan Chakra and Mahabharata's role and everything, killed demons. So why only we pick that part of flute and dance and all? Is there any other?
As a character, is presented one who is always joyous. In fact, if you see, even if you see pictures of Rama and Krishna, Rama is generally seen with a serious, smiling face. Krishna is shown as bubbly, dancing around, making fun of girls. That kind of character is presented. So I suppose Swamiji has taken that as the thing to present it here.
Okay.
Well, sure, they all have many forms of this thing, but the way you present Krishna in all images is like this, as contrasted with Rama, because Maryada Purusha. So Swamiji is presented like this.
Swamiji,
Okay.
just to add few more sentences
Yes,
to it. Swamiji, I like this word Mohabdihi. So literally it says like ocean of delusion. So we all generally think that, okay, I'm a smart person. I am like very logical, skeptical, and like I do things objectively and so on in our day-to-day lives. But all of us are like, however smart or however, within quotes, dumb we think we are still in that ocean of delusion only. So however smart a person is, it's like still one, if the smarter the person is, the person can know that there is a possibility of a mistake always possible. So I am capable of doing a mistake is the first step in this understanding. So it becomes very clear that, okay, I am capable of doing a mistake at any point in my life. and understanding the next understanding is like, okay, I'm making a mistake at the very starting with the understanding of myself. So I'm mistaking myself for something else. That is the primary mistake which I've done, which has led to this ocean of samsara or ocean of delusion. So understanding that is like a key for the start of this learning. So here, while pointing out this mistake that we are doing, it also gives us a hope that, okay, there is a way to overcome this ocean of delusion. So first understanding, first accepting my own mistake, and then trying to come out of or learning or how to correct this mistake by understanding myself. So the whole purpose of this learning starts with this prayer where one accepts one's own mistake and seeking the refuge of Ishvara to help us understand our true nature. So in that way also it is a beautiful prayer.
It's a beautiful prayer. I would like to pick the very first sentence that Anand pronounced. I am a very smart person. Who wants to break it open and analyze it?
You are
That's the
not
first
the
mistake
I.
he has already done. The body mind
Yeah.
sense complex, he's a smart person.
Yes.
So once you have that I differentiation between the body
I
mind
should
sense
be
complex,
removed.
and
I should be removed.
Whatever
no, I
adjectives
should
you
be
use,
not removed.
Whom
That
are
the
you
I,
sentence
referring to?
is,
the
the
I should
basic
be referred
sentence
not to
is,
the body
I
mind
am a
sense complex.
person. Correct?
Yes.
I can add in smart, I can add intelligent, I
Dumb,
can add
anything.
tall, I can add fat, whatever. But the basic sentence is, I am a person.
Whom are you referring to? I as a person that whom you're assuming I to be.
So of this, the only truth is, I am.
Yeah.
Everything else has to be
Or
examined.
I is.
Excellent. Okay, shall we continue? Would you like to continue? So would somebody like to else continue from here, the reading?
There's only 3 minutes left, Swami. Yeah, I'll finish off.
Let somebody else also read. We will keep rotating.
Yes, the 3 minutes are left, I thought.
Sorry?
Only 2 minutes are left, Swami.
Oh, only 2 minutes are left. Okay. Then let's not even attempt to. Okay, start reading. Maybe we'll continue in the next part.
Swamiji, a question from Divyansh.
Swamiji,
Yes, Anand?
like since we have only 2 minutes, can I ask one more small question?
Sure, sure you can.
This namaha that we are doing, generally I understand this as the salutation, but like I think in Gita class, Gita Ma said that what is the meaning of like in the Namah Shivaya, what is the meaning of Nama? Like when we contemplate on the mantra, can you like tell is there a deeper meaning of Namaha?
We will look at that separately. But you understood the meaning of Namaha. Leave it there for the moment. We will look at that as a separate, maybe in one class, we will just take Namaha and talk about Namaha. It has a lot of depth of meaning, the word Namaha.
Because the first thing we do is namaste to everyone. Like if someone asks what is the
Namaha
meaning of
te.
namaste?
Namaste, Namaha
Yes.
te. So
Namaha
Namaha is still there. The Namaha is
Yes,
still
yes,
there to
yes.
you. Te is again Chaturthi. Sorry, I think we're almost there at the end of the class. So if there's some other point that you take up, then we'll begin the reading in the next class. I want, please, everybody to read and everybody to contribute in the discussions. You're all people with a lot of experience behind you. You're all people with a lot of thinking capacity. I would definitely like that everybody reads, everybody contributes to the discussion. And if there's anything which is not clear while reading, during discussions, please stop and ask. We will all contribute. We'll start with the next class, this from the next paragraph. That goes to another subject. That's why I've said we'll stop here. And somebody, if you want to read, whoever wants to read next class, I have no problem if you want to read before that itself, before the class, so that you're prepared for the reading. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.